I want to follow Shosuke on his overseas assignment. So, how about we get a divorce, But Mommy can't really say goodbye to Daddy, right?
My name is Keiichi Sato. I work in the planning department at a logistics company called Tokimeki Logistics. For certain reasons, I was heading home with my junior colleague, Noah Toatari. But, Shosuke, why are you with Riko?
Oh my, you're home.
There they were. Shosuke Miyatome from sales and my wife Riko just chilling together. Why is Noah here?
I just came to pick up some materials I needed for work.
What about you guys? Oh, well, it's pretty obvious what's going on.
I want to follow Shosuke on his overseas assignment. So, how about we get a divorce,
Excuse me?
He went to school in the US and even did an internship there. I want to live abroad with him. But Mommy can't really say goodbye to Daddy, right?
Honoka, were you listening?
Oh yeah, Honoka knows about it.
Knows about what?
I don't know. The next day, Shosuke and Riko were summoned by the CEO. What on earth are you two doing? But it's not a big deal, sir.
It's just a personal matter.
Divorcing someone just because you want to go overseas? Did you even think about how this would affect little Honoka?
He's right.
Given what's happened, Shosuke, your overseas assignment is cancelled. Excuse me, sir?
Dad, why? That's not fair.
That's right, Mr. Okita. He worked so hard for this project. That is precisely why. Because this will affect the work itself. Shosuke, you were supposed to serve as the general manager for our major global project overseas. We handpicked the best people from every department. Yet you caused trouble with one of your teammates, Keiichi. And given the reasons behind your divorce, it's obvious you don't have what it takes to lead this project. But up until now, I used to count on you. But I can't have something like this happening on a project of this scale.
I agree with you, Mr. Okita, but still, finding a replacement at this stage will be difficult.
This is Reina Kokonoe, head of the planning department. She's my boss. About that, how about letting Keiichi handle it? What? Keiichi? What do you think? I promise I won't disappoint you, sir. That's what I wanted to hear.
Wow, great! Keiichi was already set to go overseas as executive leader, so unifying the roles makes sense.
No way!
What? Keiichi? You're going overseas too? You never mentioned it to me.
There were still a lot of uncertainties. It only got finalized the day before yesterday. And I was gonna tell you, but you were out, remember? I thought about mentioning it yesterday, but with Honoka there, I decided not to.
So what Honoka meant was...
She must have thought that we couldn't get divorced because the whole family was moving overseas together. I've also been invited to dinners that include spouses, so if people find out we're divorced, they might get the wrong idea. What?
Keiichi has always been the core of our planning team, perfectly balancing everyone's opinions. I think he's the right person for this.
I agree. And even when he caught them cheating, the first thing he did was think about his child. Not many people could do that.
But how should I explain the divorce to our overseas partners? About that, Noah, could you pretend to be his wife?
What?
Keiichi introduced me to Honoka, and since then she's been joining me on my dog walks. This morning, she said, if Mommy can't come, I want Noah to go with us instead.
Honoka said that?
I understand this is quite a request, but would you be able to do it?
Yes, of course.
And then how about assigning Shosuke as the domestic project leader? This project depends on coordination between overseas and domestic teams. He should be able to handle that well. True. After all, he was at the core of the project. Let's proceed that way. Thank you very much, sir. Sometime later. What? We already need to start moving on our end?
Keiichi and his team have already secured agreement. They negotiated with local shipping companies and terminals to increase dedicated shipping lines, and even arranged preliminary talks with the unions about staffing. Impressive, right? That's the kind of speed you see overseas.
You're right. We'll need to move quickly too. First, I'll head to the site and check the docking slots.
Shosuke, don't rush things, okay? We can't just work at their pace here in Japan.
But we have no other choice. This project is about optimizing logistics between Japan and overseas, which means transport infrastructure is the key. Keiichi's been coordinating between Western ports and our Southeast Asian bases, while we're in charge of improving domestic routes to match the growing import and export volume. We can't be the reason for any delays.
You don't need to compete with Keiichi. You should match their pace.
But without the proper local setup, their side can't adjust either.
We're not that far yet. All Keiichi did was secure a promise to add routes.
Don't worry, I've got this.
Whatever. Don't tell me later that I didn't warn you.
If we make this port the main gateway and run the route through here, I believe we can cut down travel time significantly. I have detailed data right here. You might want to rethink this. The road to Jajan town gets muddy and impassable pretty often. I doubt it'll go that smoothly. Of course, we'll upgrade it for practical use. Alright, I'll bring it up at the next meeting. The next meeting? And when exactly is that supposed to be? In that case, I'll bring more detailed data in about 3 days. 3 days from now? We can't, because a large ship's coming in that day. Then... I get that you're in a hurry, but we work with the sea, you know. Discussions like this tend to get pushed back. Right. Sorry about that. Also, we use this road all the time. Your idea might look efficient on paper, but based on experience, I've got my doubts. Why don't you check out some alternative routes? Okay. The next day, the port office I visited yesterday seems pretty slow to respond.
Well, ports are full of unexpected delays, so I guess that's just normal. You really shouldn't have just dropped by without a heads up. We ought to have set the stage during the first round of research.
Oh, what a hassle. If this were overseas, things would move way faster.
I feel you, but I think we should proceed carefully this time. You still have the final say though, Shosuke.
Right. For now, I'll just keep pushing forward. I need to close the gap between me and Keiichi.
I see.
Shosuke visited the site multiple times, and eventually managed to secure an agreement.
What? You're already talking with the local governments for the sub-hubs on the transport route? But you just barely got the port's approval.
It's okay, I'll put the documents together right away. Keiichi keeps making progress, while we're bogged down by complicated customs and endless paperwork. Since we're falling behind, we've got to move faster and stay ahead.
But you just want to do that for your own evaluation, right?
If you really care about the project, the first step should be to build relationships the right way and...
Now. He's just being efficient, so maybe we should just let him handle it.
Exactly. His approach is how things should be done.
Still...
Meanwhile, as for us...
Today, I'm gonna play with my new friend.
Oh yeah? That's great.
Uh-huh. That was yummy. Now I gotta get ready for kindergarten.
Honoka seems so happy every day. We've got to keep doing our best, too.
Yeah.
Noah seems a bit down.
Oh, right. About those two. Are you going to demand alimony?
Yeah, of course. I was too busy before leaving the country, but I'll take care of it once we get back.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's a call from Reina. Sorry, give me a second.
Hello, Keiichi? It's about Shosuke. He seems to be getting impatient. He's skipping the groundwork and rushing arrangements.
I see. That's risky for this project.
I'll send you the documents by email. When you get a chance, can you take a quick look at them? Keiichi looks so busy. I've been preparing materials too, but his are way clearer than mine.
I'm ready. Noah?
Have a good day.
Daddy?
A few days later. Noah, I'd like to entrust you with something very important. Something that could serve as a bridge between Japan and the rest of the world.
What do you want me to do?
Meanwhile, Shosuke was visiting local governments with his documents in hand.
This area's fine, but Jajan Town will take forever to develop, so you should forget about that.
No way, that's impossible. Jajan floods every time there's a typhoon, and the roads get wiped out completely. We're getting nowhere. Wait, I've got it.
That was a clever move to pitch a flood control project in Jajantown to gain their approval.
They agreed right away, thrilled about the idea. Well done. This has a real social value too.
That route is ideal, and getting their approval is a huge win. That was impressive. Still, I can't shake this uneasy feeling.
Amid all that, we finally returned to Japan. Keiichi, you're back? Mr. Okita is here too. Today, Shosuke, you're about to make a huge mistake. A huge mistake? You proposed a flood wall construction in Jajan Town, right? Yeah, we've already started a small test section and plan to launch full construction soon. I just finished a meeting about it today. Call it off immediately. What? Why? Jajan Town sits on a delta, low ground near the river mouth. By using tall levees and concrete barriers, the flood wall plan you put forward will dramatically shift the tidal flow.
What?
If you go through with this, the bay's shipping channel will get shallower and large vessels won't be able to dock. It defeats the whole purpose. Is that true? Do you have any proof? There are already small signs showing up. It's only been a short test, but even that's producing measurable changes. It could turn into a disaster. No way. And that's not all. It could trigger land subsidence and similar damage upstream. You mean this could have already started happening? This explanation is clear. Where did these reports come from? Noah compiled them. Reina had been sharing domestic updates, and Noah caught the connection.
Keiichi asked me to gather data from multiple regions and analyze it so we could apply it to the project. The report says that the port officials were unsure about the idea, but I feel like they had a gut feeling that something was off.
Unbelievable. Shosuke, you tried to speed things up to match the overseas pace, but Japan and abroad are completely different. Still, Shosuke's approach was... Don't get me wrong, it's just that Japan is surrounded by the sea and has incredibly diverse geography. You can't expect things to move at the same speed as overseas. Oh. I understand how frustrating it must be when locals can't quite articulate their reasoning, but it's our job to translate that into logic and data. Mr. Sonoyama. What is it? You were favoring Shosuke just to boost your own standing, weren't you? Even I feel that some processes aren't the most efficient. Yet every wasteful step has a reason behind it. I should have guided him until he could tell for himself what was reasonable and what wasn't. There's more I'd like to say, but right now work comes first.
Still, what should we do from here?
After reviewing Noah's data, I realized something. The construction plan itself has issues, but the route is ideal. So instead of massive flood walls, we should use pavement adapted to the terrain. It would respect the environment while benefiting both the locals and us. Can you be more specific? What if we integrate drainage systems directly into the roads, so natural water isn't blocked? And when developing new routes, we should follow the terrain, leaving channels for wind and water to pass through. I see. So the goal is to keep the path clear without disrupting nature. Exactly. It would also reduce construction time and cost. Since the project involves government bodies, highlighting its low environmental impact would be a major plus.
Excuse me? We just got a call from the Coast Guard. They're asking for the details of the flood wall plan.
Could it be that? It's obvious. I bet it's related to what Keiichi mentioned. I'll handle it. Please share our updated plan with the contractors. From that moment on, the project began advancing at a breathtaking pace.
Keiichi, this is amazing. At this rate, we'll finish way ahead of schedule. And Noah, your reports have been a huge help too.
I'm glad to hear that.
Hey, did you hear the rumor?
Huh?
Mr. Sonoyama, Shosuke, and Riko, they're all switching jobs to Doki Doki Corp.
What? That's a rival company.
Looks like they've been trying to poach our employees. Everyone's been turning them down. But those three, after this whole incident, their reputation's tanked, right? So I guess that's why they took the offer.
And that rumor turned out to be true. Thank goodness. At least we managed to land new jobs.
Yeah, if we stayed at Tokimeki, we would have been treated like dirt forever. Dad's got an executive position now, so let's do our best at Doki Doki Corp.
However, that hope was crushed almost immediately.
What? Bankrupt?
What do you mean? Tokimeki Logistics just completed that big project. What? That fast?
But how could that alone cause bankruptcy?
Tokimeki dominates the domestic market, while Doki Doki has been growing by focusing on overseas business. But Tokimeki achieved overwhelming efficiency with its international operations, fully integrated both ways. Because of that, Doki Doki's overseas-centered business model collapsed. Their revenue plummeted, and they couldn't even cover maintenance or payroll costs.
What are we gonna do now?
At this point, maybe we should go back to Tokimeki and... That's ridiculous! But it's our only option. What do you want now? Please, we're really asking you to give us another chance to work here. Please. No. After betraying us like that, you've got some nerve even asking. You're right, sir. Toshihiko, after what happened, some of the employees actually said they felt relieved that you stepped down as vice CEO. They said nothing could ever move forward without your personal approval. And even then, they never knew what exactly you wanted fixed. That's because, to me, work was everything, But employees aren't chess pieces. They're people with their own will. They can follow our direction, yes, but that means we have to give them clear instructions. It's true, you led many successful projects with your own ideas. But pointing out flaws without offering any concrete solutions, expecting others to figure it out, that's the real inefficiency. I understand, sir. And I've heard you had quite a few favorites, too. Shosuke. Yes, sir. I can understand why Toshihiko supported you. You certainly are talented. In fact, the route you proposed was the best possible one. So, are you saying that? However, it nearly turned into a disaster. If Noah hadn't noticed it and Keiichi hadn't corrected it, our company's reputation might have been destroyed. You've always pursued efficiency above all else, and that's worked for you until now. But your obsession with outdoing Keiichi made you neglect what really matters. Yes, sir. It's totally normal to be concerned about how others see you, but always remember the real reason behind what you do. Yes, sir. I'm truly sorry. That is all I have to say. Is there anything else you want to say? No, sir. Good day, sir. In the end, Shosuke and Mr. Sonoyama never did manage to find new jobs. Why can't I get hired anywhere? Guess I shouldn't have changed my job back then. They've been bouncing between short-term gigs ever since. As for Riko, she had an affair with a wealthy guy, and his wife demanded alimony.
What? There's no way I can pay this. I haven't even finished paying Keiichi yet. Even Dad turned me down.
She clearly hasn't learned a thing. Meanwhile, Noah and I have started dating.
Keiichi, what do you want to do tomorrow?
Let's see, it's supposed to be sunny, so how about going on a picnic?
A picnic? Yay! I wanna go!
Then it's decided.
Hey, Noah. We get to be together a lot lately. I'm so happy. I wish we could stay like this forever.
You heard her. I really hope you won't be going anywhere.
Of course I won't.
Enjoyed the video?
Then smash that like button and subscribe.